Hello, I'm Dylan.
And I'm Keelan.
And this is Trust Your Doctor, that podcast with a musicless cricket montage. Because this week we watched Black Orchid.
Written by the infamous Terence Dudley.
Directed by Ron Jones.
And aired in March of 1982. Although, Dudley has improved, I have to say. Because I very much enjoyed this.
It was okay.
Yeah, it wasn't the best. But I still enjoyed it. It wasn't even close to being the best. It wasn't even close to being in the upper echelon of anything ever, but I still enjoyed it.
What's the most filler serial so far, actually?
Yeah, actually, for a 2-episode serial, they spend a lot of time doing absolutely nothing. But yeah.
Somehow, this is the highest rated by amount of people who watched the serial for all of the Fifth Doctor's era is the serial, so take of that what you will.
Maybe they advertised it really well.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty divisive serial, actually, because all the actors, Peter, Sarah Sutton, and all of them are like, yeah, the serial was kind of bad, and a lot of fan polls are like, no, the serial was decent, so there seems to be a lot of split opinion on Black Orchid.
I thought it was decent.
It was okay. I liked it less than The Visitation, though.
I mean, I liked it more than Dudley's previous script.
Which was, what, For the Doomsday?
Yeah.
And K9 and Company.
Yeah, well, K9 Company is just excellent, so...
Yeah, truly the pinnacle of British TV making in the 1980s.
Truly the pinnacle of the human race. It's all been downhill.
Yeah, when the aliens invade, we'll show them K9 and Company to show them that humans truly are a benevolent and kind species.
You know how they put Georgian choir music and sent it out into space? Yeah, they should have just sent K9 and Company instead. I'm sure we'd be in like the intergalactic league of something or the other had we sent K9 and Company into space.
Yeah, that, or they would have found it as a declaration of war that K9 just runs around gunning everyone down for the whole thing. Anyway.
But I'm sure they would have appreciated that sick theme song. Yeah, anyway. They land on Earth again.
Oh, you're forgetting? It starts with Tegan going,
oh, yeah.
I changed my mind about staying on the TARDIS, Doctor. You don't have to keep trying to get to Heathrow. Because he's like, oh, we landed on Earth. And the Doctor's like, I know. I just wanted to land on Earth. So they do.
Yeah, they do. They land on a train platform in 1925. The Doctor actually makes this comment like, I wonder why we're going back to Earth so much. And I'm like, is that going to come into play later? Or are they just writing it off?
Probably not.
That would be cool if they did, but it's probably not going to happen.
It's just Eric Saywood throwing in some lines. I think he's officially...
Terence Dudley.
No, well, if you want it to be brought back, I'm pretty sure it's Eric Saywood because he's script editor now. Is what I'm saying. He's throwing in that line to set something up later.
Or not.
Yeah, or not. Or not. So this car arrives, and it's like, hey, we're looking for the Doctor. And the Doctor's like, that's me. This is kind of weird.
Yeah, so right off the bat, you're like, this is a bit strange and mysterious. They know that he's here. And there's a lot more of that, actually. There's some red herrings in this that are actually kind of interesting.
Yeah, but they just throw them all away.
Well, no, that's why they're good, because you think it's going to be the Master. It's like really heavily implied to be the Master, especially with Nyssa and everything, but no, it's just some burn victim.
He's not even a burn victim.
Well, they mutilated him somehow. I assumed it was...
Yeah, they cut out his tongue.
And, like, messed up his face.
Yeah, those from the Black Orchid. That's how the Doctor figured out that George was in the house, because they had
just giving it all away.
They had the Black Orchid in the living room, and the Black Orchid apparently disfigures people. That's why the serial's named Black Orchid.
No, it's because he stole the Black Orchid, and the natives thought it was sacred, and then they
disfigured him
up.
That's what Lady Cranley says. The Black Orchid disfigured him and messed with his mind. And then the natives cut out his tongue. Yeah, that's what she says.
No, I thought it was because he picked the... We're getting way ahead of ourselves, but who cares? I thought it was because he picked the Black Orchid, and they're like, yeah, we're not cool with that. We're just going to...
Yeah, he did.
Mess you up.
He picked it, and then they cut out his tongue because he picked it.
And messed up his face.
No, That was the orchid. The orchid messed up his
What?
face and his mind. That's what Lady Cranley says.
I don't remember any of that. I don't believe you, and I'm not going to go back and watch it.
Well, they go to the
Anyway.
house and they play cricket. The doctor plays cricket for 5 minutes.
Yeah. As I like to call it, worse or weird baseball. Actually, I don't call it that.
Cricket's
I've never called
Better
it that.
than baseball, though.
I don't know how to play cricket. I'm just going to assume it's worse because it seems a lot less fun, even though baseball is not that fun either.
No, cricket's a lot better than baseball, but I'm not going to try and explain all the rules to you right now. I just know this because cricket is the one of like 2 sports that South Africa's actually good at.
What's the other one?
Cricket and rugby.
Oh. The 2 we don't have here. Well, we have rugby, but...
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess if you're going to say we have rugby, then yeah, I'm sure plenty of people over here play cricket, but... Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't
Anyway.
even like sports, so
You should
Sure.
play cricket.
I'm sure I wouldn't find it fun.
You should play chess boxing. The best sport. Yeah, the doctor plays cricket. He's really good for some reason. I
Wasn't
guess-
he wearing, like, cricket clothes? Something?
Yeah, his actual outfit is cricket clothes,
Cricket uniform, rather?
except for the frock coat. The like sweater that he's wearing is a cricket sweater.
It's weird.
Maybe Peter Davison just likes cricket. He had that cricket ball in his pocket in 40 Doomsday. Maybe Terence Dudley just likes cricket.
Yeah, well, whatever. Yeah, they play for, like, quite a bit of time.
Yeah, oh yeah, Tegan's like, well bowled. And Nissa and Adric are like, what?
They kind of just don't care.
They don't do anything.
The
in this-
audience just kinda doesn't
Adric
care.
doesn't do anything in this serial. Like,
Except
legitimately.
stuff his face like the pig he is.
So they all go inside, and everyone's staring at Nissa, and they're like, oh, you look exactly like,
Anne.
So what's his name's fiance, Anne? George's brother, what was his name?
I don't know.
Cranley.
I don't know.
The guy who sent for the car. The guy who instigated everything. Charles. Charles
Yeah,
Cranley.
Charles. So, yeah, now Nissa gets her look-alike cereal. First Doctor had his, second Doctor had his,
Fourth
fourth
Doctor had his.
and now Nissa has hers.
Yeah, really keeping up the pattern there.
All the companions should get them.
I mean, you could
Not
argue
all of them, but some
that
of them.
Susan, Barbara, and Ian sort of had one in the Space Museum when they went into that room and they saw themselves as exhibits.
Yeah, no. But yeah, she really does look exactly like Anne, because they're both played by Sarah Sutton.
Benton got... No, wait, not Benton. Yates. No, Benton.
What?
Who showed up in the one where everyone was androids and it was actually the android Benton or Yates, the Fourth Doctor one.
Android Invasion?
Yeah. Anyway.
All right, whatever. They go back to the house.
They go into the house.
Yeah, they don't go back there. They just go there for the first time.
There's a big painting of George on the wall, and she's like, he was a botanist.
Yeah, he went off to
Get the
Brazil,
Black Orchid.
and yeah, there's a Black Orchid just sitting there. They take a look at one of the books he's written and kind of discuss him for a bit. And then Anne comes in, you meet her. She does really look exactly like Nissa, and you find out that they're going to throw a costume party.
Yeah, and Anne is like, I know what'll be fun. Nissa and I will wear the same costume.
Yeah. They both dress as a blueberry with wings. No, it's
So a
actually
butterfly.
It's just a bug or a butterfly or something. I don't really know what it was, but
Tegan dresses as a wood sprite.
yeah, she's Tinkerbell. She can do the Charleston or whatever it's
Yeah, the
called.
Charleston. And Adric's dressed as Adric.
Yeah, what the heck was he anyway? Just I don't know what he
I
was.
don't know, but he took his star badge off of his normal clothes and put it on his outfit for the ball. And I was like, wow, really dedicated to that star badge, mate.
Well, he earned it.
For excellence in mathematics.
Yeah. Yeah, the doctors costume is a clown jester.
With a full face mask. Convenient.
Yeah, we forgot to mention all the creeping around that's been going on because we see this guy's legs doing some sketchy stuff. Also, there's Latoni, who is the
guy from Brazil.
native Brazilian.
Yeah, it's the guy who brought George back, isn't he?
Yeah, he's the guy with the weird lip thing, and I was like, was that his lip, or is he just biting something, or what? He only had like one line in the entire thing, and it was really clear that it was just some guy off to the side.
Yeah, I was dubbed. No, I think it's supposed to be his lip, but it looks like he's just biting down on something.
Yeah, it's his lip. You find out later, like, oh, that's his lip, but it's not his lip. He's biting something. Yeah, so they're kind of...
They be creeping.
Yeah, right. So anyway, they start the little party, and the doctor's trying to get his costume on, but he finds this secret passage.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm going to investigate the passage, and he's walking through, and he's like, oh, why didn't I leave when the cricket match finished?
He gets lost. He ends up in this hallway with a bunch of doors that, like, lead to nowhere. And it was like, he can't get out, but I was like, can't you just follow the hallway all the way out? But I guess it's not connected. I don't know.
Meanwhile,
He finds a dead body. Oh yeah, we didn't mention the guy this is the body that he finds, the guy that got killed right in like the first second of the serial. And I made a note of this because I was like, was that the quickest kill in Doctor Who history? He dies like within 3 seconds of the serial starting.
might be.
Might be. We should probably just go back and rewatch everything just to make sure.
Well, someone dressed in the doctor's outfit shows up at the ball. Meanwhile, Nissa's trying to get Adric to dance.
We also didn't mention how someone name drops the master
Oh, yeah.
at the beginning, and the doctor's like, master? And he's like, yeah, master of cricket. And you're like, oh god, I know who it's gonna be, and with the Nissa lookalike, ugh. But that ends up being a huge red herring.
I don't know. As soon as they played it off, I was like, it's not going to be the master. Because every time they introduce the master, they never name drop him. They always give him some sort of funny little, like...
alias.
Yeah.
I was like, I
Like,
didn't know if
they
it would
never
be the
name
master
drop
or
the
not.
master right off the bat. It's like... But if they did it and then I didn't see it coming, that'd be impressive. But like,
exactly. But I didn't know whether it was gonna be the master because I was like, oh, it's too obvious if it's the master now because they already said his name.
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
I was like, wait a minute, maybe they're just throwing me for a loop doing that.
you think Terence Dudley
know.
would do that?
I don't know. Maybe. And then he shows up and he's all burned, and we've seen burned master before, so we're like, wait a minute. Who's
Anthony
this?
Ainley's the master now.
I know, but maybe he got burned again.
Well, the guy shows up at the ball, someone in the doctor's outfit, and he takes Anne inside and then kills the butler.
The butler tries to help. He sort of runs over to this side. He's holding something, and he sort of runs over to this side table and like gently puts it down and goes and
And gets beat to death.
yeah, well, choked to death.
And then the guy makes off with Anne. And everyone outside's like, where's Anne? And the episode ends with him taking Anne. And episode 2 begins with everyone going, where's Anne?
Yeah, there's quite a bit of the dance party or whatever. And Nissa and Anne switching places and stuff, and some quite funny stuff with Adric and Nissa and them. So I liked that a lot, actually.
Not with Adric so much. He kind of stays off to the side. And then he goes to get food. And he's like, I'm going to eat food.
Adric is like, oh, that can't be you. Or he's like, now he's talking to Nissa and looking at Anne, or he's talking to one of them and looking at the other, and he's like, oh, that can't, now I know you're Nissa, because you can't dance like that. And she's like, oh, can't I? So then she does. I liked that. Then he goes and gets seconds and thirds and fourths, probably. No, actually just seconds, but...
Yeah. And Tegan's dancing with Sir Ronald or whatever his name was.
She's teaching him some 80s vocabulary, like hoot.
And he's teaching her about
Nothing.
botany or something. His adventures in Thailand or whatever. the stereotypical 1920s adventurer trope.
Yeah, like what's his face from I don't even remember.
Great.
The Yeti one.
Oh. Travers.
Yeah.
So the doctor finally gets out and he finds Lady Cranley and he's like, look, I found a dead body. So he shows her the dead body and she's like, oh, well, let's not tell any of the guests. And then Anne escapes and is like, oh, the doctor was the one who assaulted me because look, he's wearing the costume of the guy who assaulted me. And Lady Cranley just doesn't speak up when the police show up to arrest him, even though she has evidence that would prove his innocence.
Well, the doctor says that someone else is wearing the same costume that he is, and then Anne's like, nope, there's only one of those. And the doctor goes on and says it's just a misunderstanding. And then
he's like, I'm a time travel.
Well, he alerts everyone to the other dead body, and that's when Lady Cranley's like, yeah, what dead body? And they go and look at it, and it's a doll. And yeah, he reveals that he's a Time Lord, and they don't believe him, obviously. Can't really blame them, but... yeah, he's now sets off on an epic journey to prove his innocence. No, actually, it's just a journey to the train station. Yeah, then we get
3 episodes of legal proceedings. This becomes Law and Order.
This becomes the last 2 episodes of Keys of Marinus, except it doesn't, and if it did, it wouldn't be as good.
No, they actually just go look for the TARDIS and they find it at the police station. It's been taken off the train platform. The doctor opens it. Also, someone calls Charles and is like, hey, this doctor fellow just showed up. He missed the first train. And Charles is like, so who's this guy?
So yeah, really heavily suspicious of the doctor now. The doctor actually tells the police officer who's taking him to the station to stop at the train station because there's crucial evidence there, and the police officer seems kind of just okay with it. I mean, if I were in his shoes, I'd just be like, yeah, I'm taking you to the station. But they do, and they go to the train station. The TARDIS isn't there, but it's at the police station. So yeah, they find the TARDIS, and the doctor reveals his innocence, even though just finding the TARDIS doesn't necessarily mean that he didn't kill anyone.
Yeah, but it does to those police officers, so they take the TARDIS back to the house.
I mean, I guess that's good, because he didn't kill anyone, so, you know. And actually, Lady Cranley was kind of a jerk here. I mean, for the obvious reasons, but also when she reveals that she covered up evidence to Charles. She's like, oh, I'm sure the doctor's innocent. There's no harm is going to come to him. And I'm like, yeah, sure. That's definitely how it works.
Yeah, well, then Charles decides to tell Anne about her brother George, but he does it off screen, so we still don't know about it. But then the doctor gets back, and the doctor's like, yeah, so tell him about George. And Lady Cranley's all, how did you figure it out? And he's like, oh, because of the Black Orchid.
I used these random pieces of evidence that couldn't have ever clued me into the truth.
I Sherlock Holmes the shit out of this.
We didn't mention that Latoni had been sneaking around, and George was in the room. Yeah, and this is when you see his crispy, burnt face, and you're like, is that the master? But
no, it's not.
It's just George. This is one of the few series.
It's just George.
He was the one who was killing everyone. He was the one who was killing family and friends the whole time.
Oh, George, you trickster.
Committing arson. Yeah, he's locked in the room. And he needs to get out, so he decides to burn down the door, setting fire to the entire house.
Because Latoni
jumps through the fire and flames. No.
As he's killing Latoni slips the key through the floorboards. Yeah, he burns the door down, and probably the rest of the house, or at least good chunks of it, since the fire department shows up.
And since they can't even get up the stairs.
Well, the doctor goes up the stairs anyway later.
Yeah, this is one of the... When you find out it's George, I was like, this is probably one of the few serials with no supernatural content.
And you would be correct. And it's the first since the Highlanders that doesn't have any sci-fi or supernatural content besides TARDIS.
Huh. I mean, there's the Massacre.
Yeah, but that was before the Highlanders.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to think of more.
Oh.
The Aztecs, I think, didn't...
Yeah, the Aztec... Well, all the historical serials. The Reign of Terror.
Yeah, pretty much all the historical ones. The one with the monk in.
Wait, he was trying to
cause the gunfighters.
The gunfighters.
That toothache was supernatural in nature. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, whatever.
So
George kidnaps Nyssa.
yeah, he tries to grab Anne and accidentally grabs Nyssa.
Because we forgot to mention, he was originally engaged to Anne, but then he died, / they thought he died, / she became horribly disfigured and disappeared for a while until Latoni brought him back. So yeah, she just got engaged to Charles
his
instead.
brother, yeah.
I think that's what they did back in those days. It's like, oh, he's dead. Just get married to his brother instead. But yeah, that's what's happening. So he kidnaps Nyssa because she looks exactly like Anne.
Yeah, so they go to save Nyssa. Charles scales the side of the house.
Yeah, that was kind of impressive. He scales the side of the burning house.
And the doctor runs up the stairs, and Adric's about to run inside, and Ronald, or whatever his name was, like, no, two is enough.
McDonald.
Just remember Ronald dramatically taking the wig off. When they reveal the doctor's innocent, he like takes it off, and he's like, "What?"
I mean, I knew it was a wig, but I was still like, "Whoa!"
So they get up to the top, and they're like, "Yo, George, you took the wrong girl. Just give her to us. We can be friends, yo. Even though you've murdered 2 people
and set fire to the house,
and are probably going to jail for the rest of your life."
I mean, George is surprisingly reasonable here, considering all the other crap he's done. He gives Nyssa back when he realizes Anne is still on the ground level / just the ground, because it's just outside. And then Charles reaches out a hand to him, I guess, to like pull him closer or
to hug him, I think.
To hug his murderous brother.
And then,
but then he just falls off the roof somehow. I guess I didn't know it was like really poorly staged or acted or directed or whatever, so I didn't know if he was supposed to like accidentally push him off or
no,
like,
I think he just stumbled backwards.
Backwards.
That was the way I interpreted it, at least.
I didn't know how to interpret it. Or maybe he just committed suicide.
Yeah, maybe he was like, I'm going to jail. I'm out. Woo!
I can't spend the rest of my life in jail.
The guy in the Bourne Identity who just jumps out the window in the first film.
Yeah, well, that guy's really in for it if he doesn't succeed. So, I mean, yeah. So it cuts to what I assume is a couple days or maybe weeks later.
Yeah, the doctor and co stay for the funeral. They just...
Why not? Never been to a good funeral? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Been to a couple funerals.
I've only been to one funeral for a guy I barely know, which is why I'm making jokes about it, but... Yeah, and that's another story for another time, and by that I mean probably never, because this is probably the most opportune time on the podcast that I'm going to get to talk about it, and I'm not going to do it, so
there might be a whole serial later that revolves around a funeral, so that would be a more opportune time. Is
there one?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought you were, like, hinting at a future, like, reboot serial or something, but okay, whatever. Yeah, then they leave.
Yeah, they get gifts. They give them gifts for some reason.
Yeah, they get one of George's botany textbooks.
Yeah, Black Orchid.
The doctor throws it over his shoulder and he's like, thanks, what am I going to do with that? No, he doesn't. He takes it graciously.
Oh yeah, and Tegan gets gifted her outfit, which she probably never wears again. And it'll probably get stuck in the TARDIS wardrobe for the next 17 years. Like Romana's entire room.
Like a
which
lot
has been
of stuff.
jettisoned now. Does every companion get their own room?
I don't know.
Does the doctor just hang on to them and walk through them at some point? It's like, memories. Just walking through Susan's room. Well, he's jettisoned Romana's, so... Anyway, yeah, it was only a 2-episode serial, so that's actually the end.
Yeah, kind of... Well, I don't want to say overstayed its welcome, but there was a whole lot of nothing in this.
Yeah, much ado about nothing.
Well... A lot of the 6-episode serials, and even the 4 episodes to an extent, do have some like filler content or content you're like, that could have been condensed a bit a lot of the times, and I mean, this holds true to that. This could have been like maybe not a 1 episode, maybe like a 1.5. Obviously,
this could have been a short story.
You can't do a half, but yeah, there was a lot of filler stuff here.
Did they novelize this story?
I don't know. I truly don't know. I honestly enjoyed it. I really did. I liked the red herrings they threw at you. I liked the banter between the companions and stuff.
Yeah, I liked it. It was kind of weird but nothingness. Was a nice reprieve from the somebody's going to destroy the entire world that seems to happen every single week.
Yeah, it was a lot more down to earth and on earth. It's sort of just a smaller scale conflict.
Yeah. And Adric didn't do anything, so that's always a plus. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Email us at thedoctor@decorative.vegetable.com. Questions, comments, concerns, angry rants, love letters, thoughts on Adric's star badge and its use.
I should have kept Nissa's costume. The blueberry with antenna.
The butterfly.
That's what butterflies are, didn't you know? They're blueberries with wings and antennas.
That's good to know.
You just pick them right out of the sky and eat them.
Ugh. Yeah. Find us on YouTube, iTunes, and Google Play at Trust Your Doctor. Leave a rating if you like the show.
Check us out on Facebook, Trust Your Doctor, and like us on Facebook, and also check us out on Twitter at TYD Podcast, and follow us on Twitter. And next week, we finally watch something that we've known about for a while.
Spoilers.
Which I hint at, surprisingly, in every episode with Earth Shock, but until then, the end.